Bob Dylan. Abstract. Bob Dylan, legally Robert Dylan, born Robert Allen Zimmerman, May 24, 1941, is an American singer-songwriter. Generally regarded as one of the greatest songwriters ever, Dylan has been a major figure in popular culture over his 60-year career. Much of his most celebrated work dates from the 1960s, when songs such as Blowin' in the Wind, 1963, and The Times, They Are A-Changing, 1964, became anthems for the civil rights and anti-war movements. His lyrics during this period incorporated political, social, philosophical, and literary influences, defying pop music conventions and appealing to the burgeoning counterculture. Dylan was born and raised in St. Louis County, Minnesota. Following his self-titled debut album of traditional folk songs in 1962, he made his breakthrough as a songwriter with the release of the freewheelin' Bob Dylan the next year. The album features Blowin' in the Wind and the thematically complex A Hard Rain's A Gonna Fall. Many of his songs adapted the tunes and phrasing of older folk songs. He went on to release the politically charged The Times, They Are A-Changing, and the more lyrically abstract and introspective Another Side of Bob Dylan in 1964. In 1965 and 1966, Dylan drew controversy among folk purists when he adopted electrically amplified rock instrumentation, and in the space of 15 months recorded three of the most important and influential rock albums of the 1960s, Bringing It All Back Home, Highway 61 Revisited, both 1965, and Blonde on Blonde, 1966. His 6-minute single Like a Rolling Stone, 1965, expanded commercial and creative boundaries in popular music. In July 1966, a motorcycle accident led to Dylan's withdrawal from touring. During this period, he recorded a large body of songs with members of the band, who had previously backed him on tour. These recordings were later released as a collaborative album, The Basement Tapes, in 1975. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Dylan explored country music and rural themes in John Wesley Harding, 1967, Nashville Skyline, 1969, and New Morning, 1970. In 1975, he released Blood on the Tracks, which many saw as a return to form. In the late 1970s, he became a born-again Christian and released a series of albums of contemporary gospel music before returning to his more familiar rock-based idiom in the early 1980s. Dylan's 1997 album Time Out of Mind marked the beginning of a renaissance for his career. He has released 5 critically acclaimed albums of original material since then, the most recent being Rough and Rowdy Ways, 2020. He also recorded a series of 3 albums of traditional American standards, especially songs recorded by Frank Sinatra, and an album smoothing his early rock material into a mellower Americana sensibility, Shadow Kingdom, 2023. Dylan has toured continuously since the late 1980s on what has become known as the Never Ending Tour. Since 1994, Dylan has published 9 books of paintings and drawings, and his work has been exhibited in major art galleries. He has sold more than 145 million records, making him one of the best-selling musicians ever. He has received numerous awards, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, 10 Grammy Awards, a Golden Globe Award, and an Academy Award. Dylan has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame, and the Songwriters Hall of Fame. The Pulitzer Prize Board in 2008 awarded him a special citation for his profound impact on popular music and American culture, marked by lyrical compositions of extraordinary poetic power. In 2016, Dylan was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature for having created new poetic expressions within the great American song tradition. This project compresses information gathered from Wikipedia in video format. Why should I watch it? Studies prove that reading while listening improves comprehension, increases speed as well as expands vocabulary and enhances fluency. Provide your feedback on the comments section. Support the channel by subscribing and liking the video. Thanks.